We're basically destroying him in one single critical hit. 4 zombies at the same time with a lot more health. Normally I would not be able to do anything. Right now I just destroyed. Look at our army. Look at our army. That's crazy. We get so much zombies. They just dashing and trying to destroy. I don't know what you think, but I think it's pretty much broken to one-shot enemies. So meet our today's character. Her name is Necromancer. Yeah, it's not our ordinary Necromancer, because as you can see over here, actual Necromancy will be available for us only after reaching level 6. Until that point, Wizard is pretty much useless and you playing like a basic Wizard. And Wizard got loads of flaws, unlike this character. So I'm starting game as Cleric, and to be able to use all weapons we will need today, I will be Elf and Wood Elf, of course, also with extra movement speed on top. Dash Domain Cleric comes with 3 different cantrips available to him as bonus, but here I have only 2. That's because here's the trick. I picked Bone Chill here, so I'm able to get Toll the Dead in basic cantrip selector, as well as Guidance and Thaumaturgy. And our Necromancer serves Unicorn Goddess Mieliki. She was a noble, and that's her abilities. Basically, I will focus on Constitution for high chance to succeed in Constitution saving throws, to keep my concentration going on. And Clerics are really cool even on level 1. The main problem in games like Baldurs Gate 3 in turn-based combat, its ability to hit a target. Even with 85% chance, it means we can miss a lot. However, just by casting Bless, which is concentration spell, on me and my allies, I can guarantee that I will probably hit and don't miss. So go away, stupid imp. And now check over here, we got 100% chance to hit. That's how good Cleric is. However, when enemies try to hit us, it also can be a problem for other classes, but we are starting in a good medium armor as well as the shield, which gives us +2 armor class. In this game, by the way, it doesn't determine how much damage you will take, it just determines will you take damage or not. So technically with high armor class, we are basically invincible. 95% chance to hit even as Cleric. And while most of the classes actually play in turn-based combat one-on-one, so you make 1 hit, you take 1 hit, Cleric is actually completely broken, because we got Toll of the Dead, a cantrip that can deal 1d12 necrotic damage if enemy is not on full life, but most importantly, as Dash Cleric we come right from the get-go with a Reaper passive that will give us ability to cast our cantrips on 1 more creature. So instead of spending few turns to try to defeat these imps, or trying to use Toll of the Dead, by the way, with 60% chance to hit, I can use Bone Chill, which will have 100% chance to hit. Isn't this broken? I guess it is. It's probably as broken as my damage. Yeah, we can deal 1 damage. That's pretty low actually, and they survived, but who cares? I mean, I care a little bit because we failed concentration saving throw and therefore we lost concentration. So now chance to hit is just 90%. I don't know, it's a lot better than just basic Shadow Heart anyway. So these stupid flying things are defeated and we can continue until we level up a little bit, and it will be pretty easy because I get Guiding Bolt, and yeah, it's not doing 1d8 damage, it's doing 4d6 at level 1. 4d6. It can hit up to 24 total damage. And look at our characters, they have just 11. So one-shotting enemies is just completely not a problem if you like manage to hit them, of course. Stupid game. Anyway, he just burned. And that's a range spell that also give advantage on next attack rolls, so it helps allies to hit on the next turn. But if we want to completely melt enemy, of course, inflict wounds. Melee damage spell, and this spell can completely destroy. If we hit the target, of course. But if we hit, we definitely hit. Look at this bro. He's like screaming, why? But whatever. Let's kindly ask our green frog friend to give us her armor. It's not looking very good, but we got 19 armor class from the start of the game. Guys, that's completely broken. But not as broken as we will become right from the get-go when we arrive to the beach and start the game technically. And that's what I like. Instead of fighting these stupid brain bugs, we can completely ignore them and just climb on some rocks in the backside of this place basically. And just by exploring surroundings, we're already leveled up. And that's where again, being Cleric favors us a lot. If you're a Wizard, you will just get new spell slot. And that's it, 1 more spell per day. But when you're playing as Cleric, you get Channel Divinity Charge in addition to our new spell slot. So now I can hit a creature with melee attack for extra necrotic damage and prepare 1 more spell. It will be Healing Word, of course, to pick up my allies in case they downed. On level 3, I I will get spiritual weapon, so it's just bonus action and new ally in a fight. Not real necromancy, but it works. And at level 4 we got one more cantrip, which will be produce flame. We just need flame sometime. And 8 to increase hit point maximum of us and our allies. But also we're getting access to feats. If you saw my best cleric builds, you already know that most problematic stat for us is constitution. We need this proficiency in constitution saving throws. And today we can't afford having fighter as level 1 class to get this for free basically. So instead I'm going with a resilient feat at level 4 and get resilient constitution. It will give me +1 to constitution, will round it up and make us pretty powerful. But of course leveling is not enough to become completely broken. We need a little bit of gold. That's why I will ask this lovely Shadowheart to dip herself a little bit into one level of Hexblade Warlock. Therefore she can bind her hexed weapon. Now this mace is hexed weapon. I will just go into barter mode with trader and drop any other weapon into my offer. Now I drag and drop it into her inventory, balance offer and barter, and basically he buys this mace from me forever and we can glitch as much gold as we wish. Actually we can donate this mace as much as we wish too, so now he gives us more gold for every item and sells items for cheaper. So we got a bit of gold, we can buy something. And the first thing will be right here in Emerald Grove. Demon. This demon looking guy will gladly sell me hunting short bow. It's not important, but still, it's the bow that will give me advantage on attacks against monsters. Also, near this ritual site in Emerald Grove, there's a good dude who pretended he is a Sonic or other guy in blue. So I want to initiate trade with him because there's no option, but we can do it manually. And he gladly will sell us Whispering Promise, which will give me ability to heal creatures, and they will be blessed with +1 d4 chance to hit. That's great. And here's the fun part. These creatures will include me. So just popping up Potion of Healing, I will get blessed for 2 turns and I will have a lot high chance to hit. Not only with mace but also with spells, with cantrips like Bone Chill for example, or Toll of the Dead, or just upcast Inflict Wounds to deal 40 damage with level 2 spell slot. I don't know what you think, but I think it's pretty much broken to one-shot enemies at this point. Also this blaze requires no concentration, so we don't care if someone hits me, but that's not it. If you remember, I just bought hunting short bow, so I can use bonus action and inflict hunting mark on him. So I will deal a little bit of extra damage on top of my normal attack. And that's not it. Don't forget we got channel divinity charges, as well as my lovely friend, spiritual weapon here, 1d8 force damage. So I'm not fighting alone anytime soon. We always got a buddy in a fight, unlike stupid wizards that comes without allies. So we're making a hit, dealing some damage, Touch of the Dead will deal extra necrotic damage, and a lot of extra necrotic damage. He's basically being one-shotted with 1 mace strike. That's how powerful necrotic damage cleric is at early levels. And in case we find ourselves in some difficult situations, like in prison for example, don't forget we always get this produce flame, completely free cantrip without any magic spell slots whatsoever, that gives us this ability to drop small fireball. However, we still need something to fight with, and there's nothing better than asking this dude up the rock in a goblin camp to help me. What I want is this mace that he's using in some strange way. I kindly asked him to disappear, and he basically turned into ashes. And then I went straight to Priester's God quarters. Door is locked, however. Still, I don't know why you need door if there's such a small jump over here. This one needs to be lockpicked. And what's so special about this mace? Basically, it will have 1d6 extra necrotic damage on top, and this 1d6 will spread among nearby enemies. So we legally destroying all enemies in small area, and the amount of necrotic damage we can inflict is just insane. Considering that with just use of bonus action we always have 1 extra ally in a combat that dealing force damage, which is least resistant damage in the game, and it's really a powerful one. Just like that we can easily go and level up further. But let's not forget, that in this room there's a chest with a really important amulet. Amulet of Misty Step. Freely. One time every short rest. And that's why it's completely game changer. Just look over here. So we're going straight into Goblin Camp and we want to talk with Mintara. We will talk nicely with her, of course. Since we reached level 5. Now we can turn undead. That's nice. But also, unlike Necromancer, we already can use animate dead and create our small undead army. Bunch of cool necrotic spells like Vampiric Touch, for example. But most importantly, Clerics comes with one of the best and super powerful area of damage spells in the game, Spirit Guardians. They come with radiant and necrotic damage, and of course we will be using necrotic damage today. Look at her fate. Of course we need to find our corpses, so of course it's pretty easy to do. We just stand still nearby, cast Spirit Guardians, and one of them is already suitable as corpse. Turn starts and this one also suitable as corpse. And that's why I need this also Misty Step. So instead of wasting like 5 turns to get down, to cross the street, we can just use Misty Step. And look, I magically arrive on other side of the street. 1 turn, 3 kills, just like that. That's pretty crazy though, but let's not forget why we are here. We are here to collect some corpses. There's a slight problem with guys who are defeated by necrotic damage like this one. He just can't be reanimated. So we need to rely on our teammates to make suitable corpses. And in case we don't need corpse right now, we can just pick up it and use this dude as our container, for example. We can open him and store some goodies and then create zombie or skeleton. Skeletons are cool, they are pretty necromantic, but I would always go with zombies. Because zombies got one very cool and unique feature. And Mintara will gladly show us how it works. So first of all, zombies are pretty weak. When you play Necromancer, they are also pretty weak. They don't have enough HP most of the time, but as cleric we can easily cast 8 and give our zombies more health right from the get-go. They're already pretty powerful. Before fight I can use Bless, for example, but I will concentrate on Spirit Guardians anyway, therefore I will just cast Spirit Guardians and initiate fight versus Mintara. Let's see how it goes, let's see. Stop, you don't run from me today, and touch of that is gladly will deal bunch of extra damage on top. Funniest part, our Willing Whip also damaging guys around. Oh, she heals, she brands. What's going on? What she will do when we come close enough to deal a little bit of damage. But here's the trick, look, zombie don't have nice movement speed. He won't have movement speed enough to reach this poor goblin. But he got nice jump ability and he can easily jump towards this goblin with bonus action and then hit him. By hitting goblin, luckily hitting goblin, our zombie just inflicted some very hard to pronounce female word, crawling gnaw. And if this entity will die, infection will spread, and this creature will become zombie. So we can use our Misty Step, come close, and when enemy is destroyed, he becoming this newborn zombie. Look at this, bros. Newborn zombies are cool, they act by themselves, so technically I don't even need to control them. I just round around the battlefield, damaging guys and trying to destroy our awful enemies. But again, coolest part, ability to spawn as much zombies as we wish. Enemies will just become our army and that's it. So it's pretty fun as this type of Necromancer. It's a lot more fun than playing normal wizard. And from this nice lady we just need one thing. It's of course her boots. What else can we want? So Boots of Striding is insanely cool. I just can't be knocked prone or moved against my will. And as you can see, there's new piece of armor on me, and that's none other than adamantine scale mail. Yeah, we made it in Dreamforge. All incoming damage reduced by 1. Again, slightly better chances to keep concentration. When melee attackers hits us, they will be going reeling. This means they will have penalty to attack rolls and probably will miss on next turns. But biggest and most important bonus is ability to have 100% protection from critical hits. Critical hits are so devastating that they can easily break our concentration, and this completely counters. So this armor is pretty broken, and we can easily level up and advance to level 6. That's where Cleric actually becomes insane. Normally, necrotic damage are very bad, especially in Act 2. A lot of enemies are resistant or outright untouchable by necrotic damage. But Inescapable Destruction is insane subclass feature from Dash Cleric that gives us ability to ignore resistance to necrotic damage. That's awesome. And technically, I will just continue as Cleric until we reach Act 2. But but it will be very easy with protection from critical hits and all spells at our disposal. Just look over here. These guys definitely got some problems, but when other people see problems, you know, like people burning in this house, they screaming, I see opportunities. I see corpses for my legion, because with level 4 spell right now, I can raise not 1, not 2, but 3 zombies at the same time. And don't worry, lady, I will reanimate him. I mean, Necromancer will reanimate him, of course. You see, he's alive, and these alive zombies will be a lot more powerful with 8, of course. 8 helps a lot. Now they have a lot more health. And if I don't want to use my Spirit Guardians in necrotic damage way, or just don't use them at all, and by the way, they're pretty good because it's necrotic damage and we're ignoring resistance still, I can just, you know, buff my zombie friends so they will have a lot better chances to hit. And we are blessed, and you're condemned. This fight should not be fair. These guys are just trying to attack and destroy me, but armor class 20 is insanely good at this point. We got nice allies, spiritual weapons, and enemies just can't hit me. They dashing, they trying to reach me, but I guess they don't know yet that their friend is actually right now is up and actually against them. So I guess with zombies we will just try to hit and focus down targets one by one. That's one of the strategies. We just need to hit at least once, and zombies are basically invincible almost. He just dropped down, but he survived. He survived because undead will come back to life. Always use jump and threaten our opponents with zombies, definitely. And let's try to hit him once. Nah, we missed. Sadly. Still, it will escalate fairly quickly. We just need to make sure Growling Gnaw is on some of our enemies, and then our allies will just finish them off, and they will become our newborn zombies. And since I can target 2 creatures with my cantrips, that's what I will do right now. I will basically try to turn them down with cantrips. Not really a powerful one, but cantrips becoming powerful while we're leveling, so we're technically becoming a little bit more powerful. And she right now opposing her friend, but I got a spiritual weapon here. Lady trying to bane us, but she banes only zombies, and it won't last long because this lady is under effect of zombie attack. And as I promised you, this will escalate fairly quickly. Shadowheart will just transform them into zombies. Our newborn zombies, of course. And look at my army now. We got so much zombies. They just dashing and trying to destroy. That's pretty crazy though. And yeah, don't worry. They're losing 1 health. We are necrotic damage every turn, so that's not a problem. Newborn zombies just can't live forever. They hit, they create themselves, and we get an army to destroy. I guess even very powerful and ultimate opponents. Look at our army. That's crazy. But again, most powerful stuff is to just cast Spirit Guardians and upcast it as hard as possible. Come close to enemies, use Misty Step to come close to other enemies, and just ignore their hits because we got pretty high armor class. And my favorite part actually is to not go in a fight with a bunch of zombies, but actually to raise them straight from the fight. Lazel have fallen in the fight, so these guys who just fallen in this fight can raise and fight this awful and ugly Kit Yankees. Also, if we continue leveling as cleric, we will get this blight spell, so we can use level 4 necromancy spell instead of these zombies as very powerful necromancy spell, and it's really powerful. But again, all spells got a really big fork of damage, so from 8 to 64. It could hit for 64, still it just hit for 10. That's why you can't rely on one source of damage. Instead, we got loads of sources of damage. Oh no, Shadowheart has fallen. Is this actually a big trouble? In reality, there is completely no trouble when we got so much zombies around. Since I just can use healing word, and even without touching her, will pick up this lady, and then I come close and inflict wounds upon this awful guy, and touch of dash always will finish strong opponents. Still, the biggest problem for zombies is actually chance to hit enemy and raise more little baby zombies. And baby zombies is what making Necromancer absolutely broken. Because when we get loads of bodies, extra bodies in their battlefield, it means enemies will need to waste a lot more resources to try and fight versus us. So that's like the best key to become insanely powerful. While we're definitely ready to join Act 2, there's one more thing left. I need to go straight to Rosmarine Monastery, and after defeating Kitianki boss over there, I get this awesome strange conduit ring. So while concentrating on a spell, I will start making wonderful extra psychic damage. After reaching Act 2, I'm level 8, and now we need to decide our feat. Actually, there's two choices. First one will be to get more strength in case I'm using lots of basic weapon attacks. Honestly, I'm not. I'm using spells more often. Therefore, I will go for Warcaster feat. Warcaster will give me ability to keep more concentration and basically from this point never lose it. Also as cleric I will get Divine Strike Necrotic that gives me ability to deal this extra juicy necrotic damage on hit every turn. That's big one. Since from this point of the game all these guys is just a corpses and that's it basically. However, we don't want to play as cleric from now on. So let's see. We're dealing loads of damage around us. We're basically helping destroy any creature we see. And we even have advantage in attacking monstrosity enemies. Enemies around doing the weirdest stuff possible, because they just fear to be reanimated with the help of Necromancer, of course. And she is always dealing loads of damage. Well, we technically can continue playing as cleric. We want to focus more on our necrotic powers and dealing even more necrotic damage than we're doing right now, while still being able to keep concentration. And here's probably the best solution possible. In Act 2 we will get a lot of cool equipment, but before getting this, upon reaching level 9 I want to respect my character, and instead of starting with focus on wisdom, we will start with more focus on intelligence. This will limit our available spells from cleric and also ability to hit with them. So while definitely I still want to have something like Inflict Wounds just in case, most spells I will take will require no attack rolls whatsoever. Basically some protective spells like Bless, Healing Word, Cure Wounds and stuff like that. Still same cantrip, still same feat, and after reaching level 6 with this juicy inescapable destruction, our lady finally stopped believing in Meliki, the goddess of forests, the unicorn, and she turned into dark side. That's the level when we stop playing as cleric and start switching into wizard with bunch of cantrips. And to keep role playing on, we will continue with Ray of Frost, with Shocking Grasp, basically some leech cantrips. Booming Blade is by the way not bad at all. It will require intelligence, so it's pretty nice and powerful, and we can make it even more broken. And as wizard we will get Enhanced Sleep, Long Strider, Feather Fall, so lots of cool stuff to make our zombies more fast, jump long, don't fall. It's pretty broken. Ability to finish any enemy in case we need with Magic Missile with 100% hit chance, and in case we need some protection, Shield is also okay. At level 8 I can pick Necromancy Wizard, and yeah, it's pretty useless again. We can just replenish our health when we finish enemies with necromancy spells. That's why wizard is actually pretty weak, but still it's nice survival buff for us. So definitely let's pick some necromancy spells. And on level 9, that's where the fun begins. We will get Shadow Blade, so it's psychic damage blade using only spell slot technically because it lasts until long rest. And I will use Mirror Image as another spell I want to have. So that's the spell list, basically buffs and some protective stuff with Shadow Blade. We can ignore Enhanced Sleep, it will be used. So basically that's spell list, 100% hit chance Magic Missile, Long Strider, and we can go. Equipment from this act, yeah, where I will go first. I will go to Quartermaster Tali. She sells this beautiful Cloak of Protection. Extra armor class is always a good idea. And we're still lacking our gloves and helmet slots. That's what we will fix now. We will start using Shadow Blade, because I can upcast it to level 5 spell slot and get extra 2d8. Look at the power of this blade. It's 6 to 34 damage, and it's using our intelligence to attack roll. So yeah, I can even go with 10 strength and 16 intelligence. Still, it doesn't matter too much, because there's one really secret and cool item in patch 8 of Baldurs Gate 3. Yeah, when we arrived right over here in the secret place, Raidwind Toll House. It's probably not very secret actually, and if you're playing Baldurs Gate 3 you definitely was here before. There's a big gold woman and she wants gold, and I gave her all my gold, so let's try to pickpocket it. And critical luck, we were lucky today, we were lucky. Completely free pass, whatever. Basically here there's another secret right behind these double doors, so we need to be a little bit sneaky, but I got in. In this chest there's a gloves of Battle Mage power, so they was completely different before this patch, but right now it's one of the best gloves in the game, especially for classes like mine. When we hit a target with a spell or cantrip that uses weapon, you gain arcane equity. And we definitely want to hit enemies with our psychic sword from time to time. So how good is it? Basically, I got long strider, so I'm pretty fast. And I will just start a fight. By the way, and look, we get 60 chance to hit. I will use booming blade and just attack our target. And definitely I will use Touch of Dash. So we basically almost one-shotted enemy in Act 2. But most importantly, all this extra stuff on top gives me stacks of arcane equity. Basically thunder damage, extra psychic damage on top from my strange conduit ring. All this stuff gives me arcane equity stacks. And just after first hit I get 5 stacks of arcane equity. And that's really cool stat. So look, normally if I will try to hit someone with, for example, hold person, and that's hold person from cleric, so it uses my wisdom, which is really low, I will have really low chance to succeed. Right now it's 50% by the way, but after getting a little bit more stacks with our arcane equity, I'm getting plus 5% chance for every stack. So after a few hits with booming blade, our arcane equity is so powerful that we not only getting big chance to succeed with spirit guardians, but also I got really high chance to even hold person him. And if this guy is under effect of hold person, we basically destroying him in one single critical hit. These crits are so awesome. The biggest and coolest part that we're actually scaling our spell slots, so we even will be able to create ghouls. They're not as cool as zombies by the way, and we can create only one, but it's really powerful ghoul. That's why I really like to use my spell slot of level 4 for my zombie legion, basically 3 zombies at a time, and then better use level 5 spell slot to give them extra 20 health on top, so they're a lot more beefier. And that's how you actually go into Moonrise Towers. Finally enough, you will gain arcane equity even from spirit guardian attacks. That's the biggest part and coolest part about our almost unlimited power. We just need to hit once. So that's the beauty and the biggest power of our crazy build. Only one problem though, and mostly it's zombie survival of course. So when they miss so much, we will probably have a bunch of like problems. So I'm just going in and destroying full Moonrise Towers from the get-go. Probably if we will become like a little bit lucky right now and zombies finally will hit their enemies. That's some like a brawl going on. So go do it, stupid zombies. Finally, newborn zombie, one more newborn zombie, and one more please. It looks like we definitely outnumbered, but honestly it won't last too long. I dropped the darkness over here close to the door and standing with spirit guardians outside, so they just can't open the door right now. These are stupid bots. And they're doing some crazy stuff. Oh, he will open the door. No, he won't probably. Some hilarious movements. While on other side of the door there's zombie army finally growing. My army will become a lot bigger right now. A lot bigger. This guy's dealing 1 damage to zombies because they're just a peasant. And you don't be a peasant, just go and subscribe for more zombie armies on Spud the King channel with RPG builds and crazy stuff. Yo! That's crazy actually. So I guess we can open the door and jump right in. Deal some damage, crush some zealots, and let's see what they will do on their turn. They try to attack me, but come on. I got pretty nice armor class, I got nice constitution, loads of health, and there's definitely not a way they can go and hit me with a shield spell. So it's probably like almost impossible. But they managed. 2 paladins destroyed me. You know why I don't care? Because I still got a zombie army, and this army can definitely destroy everyone. Or will they? Come on, I just need to survive 1 hit. I got 1 health left, and we survived. Will he survive, or he will become my zombie? It looks like he will become our zombie actually. That was somewhat a crazy fight, but I guess it's finished. So, gloves are cool, but there's one more insanely cool item in this act. But to get this item, I need to speak with this crazy big dude. Yeah, he looks scary, but don't worry. Our armor class is pretty high to not take loads of attacks from stupid undeads, and even if they hit, we can cast shield and get this shield for full turn. That's pretty crazy, so they got no chance to hit us, basically, while they're being destroyed. And this bro got loads of resistances, but necrotic is not one of them, so booming blade, and this guy is basically done. in 2 turns. That's pretty easy. So after the fight, definitely I'm taking Circle of Bones, which not only will grant me animate dead spell once a day, but also light undead nearby will have resistance to bludgeoning, slashing and piercing damage, basically to all physical damage. So do I need to tell you how broken we are right now? We can get this Umbral Gem and use it on Ancient Altar. This will activate Elevator, and since I'm leveling Wizard right now, I can get Knock Spell and Dual Wielder Feat. Yeah, to keep more concentration we will need Warcaster, but with Dual Wielder we can become completely broke in Act 3. And right now, instead of struggling for these 3 extra Umbral Gems, I will just use Knock Spell and open the door. And look what's behind my back. That's the secret item. I will show you the power right now. So I'm finishing leveling basically by going with Wizard. We can get any spells we don't have, it doesn't matter too much. Just don't go for concentration spells. Stuff like Fireball, Lightning Bolt will work, just in case we need some different damage types if we're fighting guys with necrotic immunity. Most importantly, at level 6 Wizard, at our final level in Act 3, yeah, we will reach Act 3 and level up to 12 pretty fast, we get this ability to summon a lot more creatures and a lot more powerful creatures. They finally will become super powerful and we can finish the game with them. And most importantly, we can animate 1 more undead creature. So what's most and biggest problem for all wizards and guys like this, like Necromancers? The biggest problem is actually inability to cast spells and do attacks, and we kinda need to choose, right? Yeah, it's completely wrong. Dual Wielder Feat. And normally if I try to use Shadow Blade in my offhand, it won't allow me. But now I can easily dual wield and also deal insane damage with it, with just my bonus action. And my actions will cast my spells. So that's a big one. But also in Act 3, we definitely want to have Staff of Cherished Necromancy. This Necromancy will give me ability to hit with my Necromancy spells more often, because creatures will have disadvantage on saving throws. And if we take a look on Necromancy spells, they all have some saving throws. At the same time, when we kill a hostile creature, we can absorb its energy and gain life essence. How broken it is? Oh my goodness. It's insanely broken, but probably not as broken as having Resonance Stone in our inventory. And Resonance Stone will basically double our psychic damage. We're dealing 48 psychic damage, it means we can hit for 60 plus damage. And don't forget, Strange Conduit Ring also dealing extra psychic damage, so that's when everything comes into place. And now I can create 4 zombies at the same time. They will be insanely protected with a lot more health, 59 health each, by the way, it's a lot. Mirror image before the battle, definitely, so everyone will miss us. It's completely free actions on our side, basically. I guess these guys will deal with the big fella, while me and my zombies will go forward. So what I'm doing right now, I'm basically casting Spirit Guardians, of course, with necrotic damage, since I don't care. I've cast it to maximum spell slot. Normally I would not be able to do anything. Right now I just destroyed all of them. And look at this bro. And look at him now. Look at the damage. It's just 40 damage straight, plus Spirit Guardians, plus Touch of Dash, for 29 on top. Or something like this. That's some crazy turn. However, it will be even crazier, because we're keeping concentration with high constitution. And what about zombies? Zombies are spawning. Even more zombies. At least I hope. They actually can hit big fella pretty easily for 23 damage, by the way. And while zombies standing nearby of me, they actually pretty protected, because they will have resistance to all damage types, all basic damage types. And she will become my little zombie. She was big, but now she's little. Zombie Little, the new movie on Spud Kingdom. Look at this zombie, he just survives all the damage because he basically resistant to basic damage types. And these guys, these poor fellas, probably won't stay too long. However, if I kill someone with a spell, like this dude for example, and with a spell is a important thing, then we unlock a little secret, basically. Life Essence. How broken this stuff is, I can't even explain. Normally as mages you will be limited to spell slots and you won't be able to cast loads of high level spells. However, with Consume Life Essence, even if I don't have any spell slots left, I can use Inflict Wounds as Inflict Wounds upcasted to level 6. And why Inflict Wounds? We can technically cast any necrotic Necromancy spell. Since we're focusing on intelligence with this build, and actually we can definitely keep it at around 16, we can learn basically any spell as wizard and just melt our enemies with insane damage. Want to hear something even more cool? Only mage with unlimited level 6 spell slots in the game without extra crazy shenanigans. With insane concentration, insane armor class, nice very protected zombies, he just survived double smite from him. And honestly, this zombie is crazy, he need to get a raise for how powerful he is, surviving 2 smites and then landing a hit. So we can convert this bro on our side and he will become our baby zombie. Honestly, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And I hope you enjoyed this video and you will have blast trying this build for yourself in Baldur's Gate 3. Make sure to watch other cool builds on the screen right now. And see you in the next videos, legends.